Let's do it up. We're here with Zach Frangelo, Director of Entertainment for none other, I would say, than the Savannah Bananas. Zach, thanks for joining
Yeah.
us here.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we both, have gotten in contact with Ben Lorenzen. Tell us a little bit about why the Savannah Bananas would grace us with their presence here in an aquatics conference.
Yeah, I mean, Ben is such a creative, and what he's been able to do with his club throughout the years is very similar to what we do. It's the entertainment, it's the fun. It is taking something that is traditionally, a little bit less entertaining and less kid friendly, and building it into something that is huge and is entertaining, fun, and eliminates those things that are, traditionally a little bit more boring and not as exciting for the common person.
So we have experienced that. That's our mutual
Yep.
understanding that I think in the talk you said, it can be long, a little bit boring and something else. And I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Exactly.
Swimming and baseball maybe have that in common. Tell us about that transition.
I mean, Banana Ball was built from the perspective of the fan. And so, the name of the company is Fans First Entertainment. And so it's always about putting fans first. As we were watching fans throughout our time playing regular baseball, we could have scheduled the biggest things in the world in the ninth inning, but since it's happening at 9:30 at night, nobody's seeing it. And so we realized there was a fundamental problem with the product in baseball. And so we transitioned into Banana Ball and created a game that is a little bit more exciting, a little bit faster pace, has a higher engagement, and then just supplemented that with the entertainment that we were already doing and found incredible success. It's been incredibly unique to be a part of and to see something skyrocket the way that it has and being a part of it. But it's always rewarding.
And you've been there for 7 years, is that right?
Yeah, this is actually my 6th tour. So I joined in 2021 and then have been doing, did a couple CPL seasons. And then as we transition fully into Banana Ball, it's just been a tour a year.
Got it. Talk to us about, especially, I see the similarities with swimming and with baseball. You've been there for 7 years. Talk about codifying fun today.
Yeah.
There's a lot that has to happen mechanically before you can get to the ideas. There's just some fundamental things. Maybe it was in the transition away from the old league to what you guys do. Tell us about sort of the unsung part of what you have to do.
Yeah, I think obviously the execution is the part that we're still trying to figure out. Right? It's ever evolving from what we do on day one is like so far and behind of what we do today. Obviously that's an evolution process of execution. As you continue to find those tools to execute, it will make the product better. And so it's always plussing the experience, plussing what you're doing and finding those rhythms. And so we operated with 2 microphones back in 2021 and now we're operating with over 30 in one city. So it's like you just get better and better and you learn the ins and outs of what you can and can't do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Personally, in your professional career now with these guys, and tell us what's the biggest takeaway with the Savannah Bananas so far for you?
I think the biggest thing is just the elimination of failure. We fail every single night. It happens all the time. And if you're not failing, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. And so if we ever have a perfect show, we need to reevaluate. Like we're striving for perfection because obviously we want that highest standard. But if we achieve it, we're not pushing hard enough and not trying new things. Obviously, we've gotten a lot better and our failures have become a lot less apparent, to say the least. But that comes from that ability to fail, but fail forward and get better.
Part of the territory,
exactly.
The man in the arena, and all of that.
Yep.
Yeah. If someone's been living under a rock, they don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you need to share right now that makes Banana Ball so great?
Yeah, it's for me, I'm a traditional baseball fan too. Still to this day, I'm a guy that watches probably close to 100 Red Sox games throughout the year, a big fan of the game and have been around it for my entire life. And I still love it. These two games can coexist. It's creating a different environment for more people to get in front of the game of baseball. Because that's what it is at its foundation, We still play a version of baseball, but for someone that is joining and coming in, I recommend coming in with an open mind, but also understanding that you have a place in Banana Land, that you have a place with us and you can find your niche. We have teams that are, beach and, the Loco Beach Coconuts, that very much fits the aquatic world. They literally have water cannons as a special effect. So it's pretty cool that anybody that comes in can find a home with one of our teams.
Out of curiosity, as I got to ask, have you guys seen anything or are you guys able to track any data that shows kids that are in the pipeline, those younger kids getting more involved with baseball because there's
Yeah.
fun happen more.
Absolutely. And baseball is in a really cool spot right now as a whole. Obviously with us, you have teams like, yeah, Pottstown University, which is a kids tournament team that has shown more fun, and social media does a really good job where the baseball world can kind of start to grow again. But baseball numbers were absolutely down before, this took over. And we're not trying to come out here and compete with MLB. We're just trying to be our own thing and create as many fans as possible. And, the data, there's not necessarily a data field, but what we can say is we hear more stories about kids that were, phasing out of baseball because they weren't having fun. The competition was too strict, travel ball, the schedule. And we're hearing it more and more that they came to a game and that they're going back into baseball in like a rec league or in some ways just so that they can show that they can have more fun. So we hear it all the time, and it's awesome, and it's everything that we strive to be, but it's not like a specific one size fits all. Some
Right.
kids do just not don't want to play, but they love
Yeah.
what we do. And so they take in the content in different ways.
Awesome. Zach, I appreciate your time.
Pleasure. Thanks
Thanks.
for having me.